They chillin' in Alaska, swimming in Atlanta, vultures out in Baltimore, they Carolina, they wildin' in Chicago, howlin' down in Big D, Mile High in Denver, that Tallahassee pride is deep, they lunchin' in Vancouver, Desperados shootin', the renegades on the loose, the hyenas lootin', gold out in QC, who higher than them sparrows, the furies swooping in divine order for the pharaohs, Indy on the rise, the sharks about to mash, gladiators, knights and Aztecs about to clash. Welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see the all-pro party. And welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see an all-pro party. First and 10, I'm so aggressive. The end zone, the game plan, no pressure. They gotta pay me how they measure me. You know these haters on my back like the referee. You know I'm in it to win it. Game day, I'm about my business, I gotta get it. So I'm all about my ends. And these non-stop wins. They can't touch us, can't touch us. We turning up on these suckers. You know the D brought the ruckus. Cause we tighter than the huddles. Welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see the all-pro party. And welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see an all-pro party. Third down is going down. Round the pound, oh, we gotta air them out. That's why I gotta hit the route. Hit the flat if I catch it, then I'm out. Fourth and inches gotta take. YOLO, just no perfect. So tighten up and hit the power high. The audible and draw them off sides.
Ryan Michaels gets a block midfield. Ryan Michaels, he could be gone. Trying to be comfortable behind, he will not. Touchdown, Houston.
Welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see the all-pro party. And welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see an all-pro party.
Yola shakes it. Oh my goodness, and Yola gets away. Jay Yola on the first play for Tallahassee is going to score again. Left side, Odom gets away. Odom breaks another tackle. Ash Odom, you've got to be kidding me. Big chase, 10-5 touchdown. Oh my word.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Estadio Azteca here in Mexico City for tonight's Friday Night Lights contest between the Baltimore Vultures and the Mexico City Aztecs. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Cameron Irvine, of course, joined alongside Stephen Mullinex. How you doing, Stephen?
I'm doing great, Cam. I can't wait to match up these two legendary SFL teams. Let's talk a little bit about Mexico City. Season 9 champs. Season 10, they finished with a record of 7-5, but don't let that fool you. They were hot late into the season. Lost to Alaska, the season 10 champs in the second round. 2 wins away from another championship. They're 1-1 headed to face the Baltimore Vultures, who entered the SFL back in season 3 as the Crabs made the playoffs 5 straight seasons. Left the SFL after season 9, but has returned this year as the Vultures. And how are they welcome back? 4 away games in their first 5 contests. They're headed into Mexico City for a challenge tonight.
Trying to snap that 2-game road slide. Vultures will defend the South. Cole Varner is putting that ball on the tee. This is Friday Night Lights on the SFL Network. Cole Varner, kick it! We're underway. This is from 2 yards outside of the end zone, and Daley Holder will return out of the 23-yard line as the Cam returns. Always looking positively average. All right, Steven, Mike Dazzo on the field first.
Dazzo, 816 yards, 3 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, throwing a very low 55% completion percentage there. See if he can get back on track tonight.
The Vultures have 3 receivers at the top of the screen, and back to pass is Dazzo, and Dazzo goes short right, pass complete, first down out of the 36-yard line, a pickup of 13 yards. A good start for Dazzo, who on his first pass last week threw a pick to Zane Doty.
Well, they're a nice little pass to Montgomery. Good job by the Crabs coaching staff there, just to give Dazzo something easy, something to get him relaxed. And in this game, and a good first down throw there on the very first play.
Dazzo, 3-step drop, good pocket, pass is incomplete, broken up over the middle. Mexico City in all red tonight, the sort of maybe more maroonish red, and Baltimore in the brighter red helmets with the white pants, jerseys, black numbers.
Or Carlos Powers there, able to get in front of that dart from Dazzo. Good job to just staying and sitting in his zone and looking at the quarterback's eyes there.
Second down and 10 at the 36, and Dazzo will flip that out to T. Roy Gaines, and T. Roy Gaines rumbles for a first down out of the Crab 48-yard line. Tackle made on the outside by Jack Brown, the third-year man, 6'5", 254.
Well, that's Gaines' 22nd reception here. It's the early into this season. That would tie him for #1 in the league so far. They like to use him as a receiver threat out of the backfield, and you can see why.
Out of the gun for the Vultures, and Dazzo on another first down for the Crab 48-yard line. The Vulture 48-yard line. They're counting the swear jar here tonight, Steven, as Baltimore gets up to the Aztec 36-yard line for a Vulture's first down.
Well, I like what I've seen out of this passing offense, Cam, and if that swear jar is on the side of Mexico City, you can tell why this Vultures team is coming out firing.
And Dazzo looks very calm and comfortable out there against a 4-man rush. Dazzo, pressure off his right, and a perfect pass to the 18-yard line. Shea Carroll on the receiving end. The Vultures are in the red zone.
And spreading the ball around. We've seen passes to Malone. We've seen pass to Gaines. Now we see Carroll. We've seen it to Montgomery, the role player off the bench. They are spreading this ball around, and typical of a T-Pat offense, which we'll talk about soon.
Again, 4-down lineman for the Aztecs. A tight set here for Baltimore. Play action from Dazzo. Going to roll outside, fires opposite direction, and that pass is complete in traffic. A 9-yard pickup for Chad Morgan, the fullback. And head coach Thomas Paterniti's pulling it all out here in the first series.
Well, give a lot of credit to that fullback, Morgan, able to really grab that ball in between 2 Aztec defenders. Dazzo delivering darts early.
Again with a tight look, second down and 1 for the 10. They're going to run the same play, it looks like, as Dazzo will fire this time to the near side, and Garen Malone was open, but Dazzo rushed the throw. 3rd down and 1. And the Vultures face their first 3rd down of the drive.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of runouts like that by quarterbacks. But here it's giving Dazzo more time, getting him out of the pocket. There, just a misfire and a miscommunication. You're going to have some of that when you bring in a new offensive coordinator, new coach. You're going to have some miscommunication, some chemistry that needs to be built up.
3rd down and 1. And Gaines will get the handoff, and T. Roy Gaines breaks a tackle and scores! Touchdown Baltimore on their opening possession to quiet the Mexico crowd.
Well, the first run of the game by Baltimore, and it results in a touchdown. You wonder why they don't give this guy, T. Roy Gaines, more opportunities to run the ball. Look, the guy they got, a real steal in the 2nd round, the 22nd overall pick in that round in the SFL draft. And the only thing he's doing is just become their biggest offensive weapon right out of the gate.
So the Baltimore Vultures on the road after having 2 pretty poor performances on the road at Carolina and at Indianapolis in their first 2 games, come out and make a statement here tonight against the Aztecs, as the extra point from Shark Tarkington is good, and it's 7-0 in favor of the Vultures. And I'm going to say Vultures as much as I can tonight so I can beat it into my brain.
I think I've already slipped up once myself, but look, this was a great opening drive for Baltimore. I mean, coming in at 1-2, having to play so many away games here, it's almost like it's hardening their team, and they're getting used to being away from home here. What a great opening drive, really established himself.
From the 9, that's Jeffrey Daggs coming over with his dad, Mike Daggs, who plays tight end up to the 28-yard line, and we get to see Matt Willson, one of the league's best quarterbacks of all time.
Well, in week 1, Mexico City suffered a pretty big loss to Alaska, the reigning champions, but came back in week 2 and beat a Denver Nightwings team 19-11 at home. So they had a bye week last week, so we don't really know who these Aztecs are this year yet.
Willson deep, caught, first down. Richard Montague on the sideline, out of the 43, a pickup of about 14 yards, and Willson starts off hot.
Well, look, Willson, 392 yards so far this season, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but he is completing 71%. That's his completion percentage. So, completing 71% of his passes. So this guy is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the SFL, has been for a long time, and a Hall of Famer.
Dazzo 47 sitting here. Flossin, R. Cochran, Dags 83, Ethan Kai 66, Dazzo 0007, Kaz McFly, Mighty RX, Vancouver Legion, a lot of SFL Nation in the house tonight as Ray Bentley is wrapped up from behind after a 2-yard pickup. Second down and 8 again. Mexico City wearing the all reds tonight. Baltimore in the red lids and the white pants and jerseys. Giovanni Bold on the tackle.
We'll expect a lot of Ray Bentley in this game. The Aztecs rushing offense ranks 9th. They average 105 yards per game.
Willson, second and 8, caught. Montague's got back-to-back receptions. Tony Willis with the reception, but Willson looks sharp here tonight as both of these teams are trying to make an impression and move themselves up their respective conference standings.
Well, certainly Mexico City's trying to balance their offense a little bit. Came in to this contest ranking 19th in pass offense, averaging under 200 yards through the air. So far, early in this game, looks like they prefer to go through the air.
Willson, deep drop back. Willson steps up in the pocket, throws off his front foot. It's caught on the sideline by Montague. Montague is on fire here, exposing Thornberry on the outside. 1st and 10 of the Vulture 28-yard line.
Well, absolute masterful here by Willson. Able to step up in the pocket, throw the ball off the wrong foot, have enough strength and power in his arm to get it to Montague for the first down.
And no challenge from T-Pat and Tim Johnston up in that owner's box. Maybe wanting one. 1st and 10 at the Crab 20 or the Vulture 28-yard line as Willson gets out to, hey, you wanted a swear jar, you got it. No gain for Ray Bentley. 2nd down and 10. I was staring right at him.
And this Vultures team offensively were struggling. When they had an opening week loss to Carolina 24-13. That was also an away game. Then they lost to Indianapolis 30-7. But they brought on Thomas Paterniti as their new head coach after week 1, and we've seen so far we've seen some good things out of them early here.
Bentley picks up 4. The struggle is real. The new broadcasters, Stephen, have no idea how difficult it is to call 40 or 50 games for a team and then to have a similar color scheme and then a change of a name. And just expect that it happens overnight. 3rd down and 6, Willson fires middle, caught by Daggs. He'll be dragged down by Amon Takes, short of the first down, forcing a likely Varner field goal halfway through the first.
Well, Amon Takes the number 2 overall pick in the draft. That's why you bring that big fellow along. 6'2", 243 outside linebacker, 27 total tackles so far this season. One of the best tacklers in the SFL and proving himself there.
4th down and 2. Willson with 8 on the play clock, likely just taking it down here as Baltimore stands pat, and the Aztecs will have to burn a timeout. That gives us a chance to hear a quick message from the SFL.
Want to do what I do? Contact me in the DM on Discord to find out how you can get involved with streaming live games, calling games, or breaking them down on the air with our broadcast team. Or help make our production even better by joining our new live stats team, helping our broadcasters shine brighter. We are hashtag Loading Legends in the SFL.
So, a 37-yard field goal coming for Cole Varner. Straight away, Varner's kick faced a little pressure, but smooth sailing. That's up and good, and both teams have a score here on their opening possession. It's 7-3, Vultures over the Aztecs.
Well, it's a little surprising to me that both offenses have come out looking to pass the ball. These are two really good passing defenses. Mexico City has the 9th best passing defense, and the Vultures have the 5th. So these methods of attacking each other are really interesting early and have been successful.
So Varner will punch it deep from left to right on your television screen or whatever screen you're watching us on. And from the 1.5-yard line, Holder puts a man down onto the grass and returns the ball up to the 21-yard line. Updating Score Stream. If you don't have the app, download the app today. Score Stream, the official scoring app of the SFL. 4:52 left in the first quarter. He's Stephen Mullinex. I'm Cameron Irvine. Scott LaRue is on stats. T. Roy Gaines picks up 4. And King Wallace with the tackle. But Stephen, Mexico City has not been able to get that first guy to make that stop on Gaines tonight. He's breaking a lot of tackles out there so far.
Yeah, that's why you pay your running back, to break that first tackle, because that often will give you positive yardage. If you can get past that first defender, it's usually a good sign that your running game is going to go well that night.
2nd down and 6 of the 25. Dazzo straight back, and again, he tests that short middle. The first time it was Powers, that time it was Jack Brown, and that's about the only thing that hasn't worked for the Vulture offense. 3rd down.
Yeah, they're sitting back there, letting their linebackers really just mirror the quarterback and their really great vision to instinctually get in front of that ball, know where the ball is going, and Dazzo trying to make a quick strike to surprise his defense. Didn't work.
At the backfield, 4 wide. Dazzo pump fake now goes opposite side. Did they give him the first down? Yes, they did. Wallace on the tackle on the Garen Malone reception, but Malone does just enough to get the first down.
And, Malone, the transfer there from Houston, played there last season with the Hyenas, came in and did a masterful job there of knowing where the first down marker was, knowing where he needed to be and what he needed to get that first down.
Handoff, Gaines running right. Gaines made a couple of people miss. T. Roy Gaines having one of his best quarters in his short SFL career here. He's making some moves.
Well, the 6'2", 240 running back there showing some exceptional quickness, able to cut inside there, dips his head, gains some extra speed, bypassed one of those defenders like we talked about, got big yardage.
It's the start of week number 4 here in the SFL, and Dazzo is going to be sacked. A 6-yard loss coming around that right side again is Alan Romero, and he is owning that right guard out there.
Well, the SFL has become such a really defensive line presence in the last couple of seasons, Cam. A lot more teams are investing in their defensive line to get pressure, so really surprised that we're having to wait until this long to really the defensive line really made their presence known. But as you can see, it can really affect the ball game here, 3rd and 6.
It's 3rd down at the 35-yard line. Dazzo, short throw, not going to get the first down, and we have our first full stop of the game. Daley Holder on the reception. So 4th down and 2. And also don't forget, SFL Nation, at halftime tonight is the SFL Blitz from week 3. Doing it live. Got to get some more viewers in here. Bump up our average, get that Twitch partnership. Vultures punt it away, and Dags returns up to the 24-yard line. 2:12 to go in the first. And back out on the field is Matt Willson. And these two teams, Stephen, this has kind of a playoff atmosphere. They came out ready to go tonight.
Well, certainly, and the Aztecs more ready than anyone else. They're coming off a bye week camp, still trying to find out who they are, what their identity is, really establish that identity in the league. And after winning one and losing one in their first 2 weeks, just trying to work out the kinks in the playbook.
Deep ball, and Willson looked a little rushed, intended for K.L. Barrett, and look at Joe Dazzo out there still making plays. Dazzo in his 6th season in the SFL.
Yeah, 25 tackles so far here this season, and right there, him and Amon takes combined 52 tackles on the season, just tackling machines there in the linebacker core for the Vultures.
Welcome to the Moon King in the chat room. AJ pick 6, Mexico City Aztecs among others. Ray Bentley pushing forward, picks up 7, a solid 7 yards out of the Aztec 31-yard line.
Yeah, good to see old Ray Bentley get going. 215 yards and a touchdown this season. It's been averaging 4.1 yards per game so far. 4.1 yards per carry, which we've actually seen a much bigger yards per carry average from him in the past. But again, this team's still trying to figure out who they are offensively.
2 backs and 2 receivers. 1.5 minutes left in the first. And Willson against a blitz. Steps up in the pocket. Matt Willson! What a play! Doing it with his legs! Out of the 42-yard line. That was one of the best plays of his career.
The patience, Cam, to sit in the pocket when everything around you is like a hurricane, and to have the wherewithal to stand in the pocket strong and then realize, you get that clock in your head saying, I got to go, and he goes and he gets the first down. He's got the speed to do it. What a tremendous play.
Oh, man, it's a shame we didn't get a replay on that. That was outstanding. 2 in the backfield now. Willson straight back. Man, somebody got speared right at the line and then shoves down Ray Bentley into the Vulture bench. Pickup of just 1.
Well, that's the problem with the short drop back. If Willson doesn't find his target immediately, or that target isn't open, that's going to make him susceptible to all types of pass rush pressures. There, having to go to his outlet and only gaining a yard.
2 backs, 2 receivers on a 2nd down and 9. Baltimore has the early lead, 7-3, here on Friday Night Lights on Twitch. Willson slant caught, 1st down, K.L. Barrett. Out to the Vulture 47-yard line, and the Aztec drive continues.
Well, those two obviously have a lot of chemistry and a lot of history together. Willson and Barrett there executing to perfection on that slant play, wide open, and Willson puts it right on the numbers, 1st down.
Might be the final play of the first quarter, 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. And this pass from Willson is caught by Montague out of bounds at the Vulture 39-yard line, an 8-yard pickup. And both of these teams are doing their thing in quarter number 1. We'll be back. Baltimore 7, Mexico City 3. Beautiful night in Mexico. This is Friday Night Lights on the SFL Network, presented by APM Music.
APM Music is the official theme music provider of the SFL. Listen to their Champions Will Rise soundtrack at apmmusic.com and visit their all-new esports landing page to find the best highlight music, heroic action, and epic sounds to boost the quality of your esports stream just like us. Log on to forum.apmmusic.com/esports for more information. APM Music, production music library and custom music house.
Here at MediaTek, our goal is to create a well-rounded media professional. MediaTek is a place where you can turn dreams into reality. Our comprehensive recording arts, digital film, animation, mobile apps, and web development courses are focused on being very hands-on. We are a career-focused school. Our instructors are not only great teachers, they are also working professionals with real-world experience. MediaTek, come see what your future holds.
The Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music, is also brought to you in part by Show Business Studios, MediaTek Institute, Richards Printworks, ScoreStream, and Spy Goats. Some pictures from the Hall of Fame ceremony from the SFL convention just a few weeks ago. A Hall of Famer playing well here so far tonight as Willson hands it off to Bentley, and Bentley will not get the first down. Excellent tackle on the inside interior made by Courtney Cate, who we've seen a lot of good things from this season so far.
Yeah, if Courtney Cate is able to make those type of plays with the kind of linebackers they already have in this backfield, I mean, this might be the best linebacker core in the SFL.
3rd and 1 of the 37, handoff to Bentley, and Bentley did not get it.
Wow.
Stopped by, was that Takes again? Amon Takes, that's the 3rd time he's had Ray Bentley's number here in the first half, and Mexico City has a decision to make.
Yeah, and that's no ordinary back they're stopping there. I mean, that's a former league MVP that they're putting the kibosh on in short yardage situation.
Now it's 4th down and inches, and if I was Mexico City, I'd go for this here. You got nothing to lose. You're on the 37, and they will go for it, and it's a Bentley handoff, and it's a Bentley first down. Tough to do it 3 times in a row. Bentley up to the Vulture 33, and the drive continues. Yeah,
had an opportunity there for Baltimore to push back. There's a little bit of a delay there with Wilson's handoff, and Ray Bentley just seems to be just not right. Something just causing a little bit of a pause there. That's giving an opportunity to the Vultures to try and stop Bentley, but good job there by the old veteran.
Ray tackled by Takes again, and the rookie is finally showing out here for Baltimore in the first half. He's got at least now 4 tackles.
Well, look, this is a guy who's one of the best tacklers in the league already as a rookie, and he's still getting acclimated to the SFL game. So the more and more he plays this season, the more and more his level of play should rise.
The 2nd pick in the most recent rookie draft, and I give him a hard time, but he's playing a great first half. Deep ball, Willson, intercepted, jumping the route at about the 10-yard line. That is Tony Willis taking it away on the first turnover of the night, and Willis came out of nowhere.
Well, Willis, the Alaska Storm Star from last year, came over to Baltimore to make plays just like this. Look at him cut in front of the wide receiver Dags. The tight end Mike Dags there, able to cut in front of him, and also give credit to the Vultures defensive line, able to put pressure on Matt Willson, make him throw that ball just a millisecond early. That helped with the turnover.
Baltimore got a red zone pick last week in their victory over Queen City. Hendricks Thornberry, and that pass caught to the outside for a 5-yard gain. Want to give shout-outs to everybody that cheered the top bits from live broadcast last week. Plague 7 does it again. Easy Temple, top of the leaderboards, 1,800. Thank you so much. Max Jackson, 1,700. Mark Lopez, 1,242. Jason 1347. Thermo Killa, 35. Each at 1,000. TJ Cag SFL was 735. And we'll continue those shout-outs later in the broadcast. Dazzo not going to get a first down. Loss of about 5. 3rd down, 11 seconds. Sack of the game. The virus is loose. Zeta, check that. Dorian Lopez on the sack. Lots of 90s on this defensive front for Mexico City.
Well, a lot of this offense so far for Dazzo has him running out of the pocket, and that can put your quarterback in danger. You're putting him in the hot zone there, and that can be dangerous.
Dazzo, 3rd and long, intercepted on a floater down the sideline, tippy toes, all the way down to the 26-yard line. Vultures give it right back, and Fran Agawa with the interception in his 2nd season.
Well, Gawa must have played offense probably in high school or in college, because he makes an exceptional reception here. And then to be able to turn the ball upfield, go up the sidelines as quickly as he did, he must have played wide receiver or running back in the day.
So both defenses, after surrendering points on their opening possessions, have tightened up here in the first half. Gives Matt Willson excellent field position. Richard Montague, who's been the top offensive player in this game so far, is at the top of the screen. Two backs in the backfield, and Matt Willson will drop the throw against some pressure, and Willson, oh, it's caught at the feet of the fullback. What another brilliant play from Matt Willson. Andres Tovar with the catch.
Yeah, I thought this one here was prime pickings for this Vultures defense, but there, the fullback able to kind of reach down by his knees and pull that one up. Boy, you know what? That's two early plays by fullbacks here on both sides of the ball that have made some nice receptions.
Mexico City in the red zone. Again, 1st and 10 to the 15-yard line. And Willson, short drop, throws out the Dags on a check down, picks up 5. And that was a nice little check down there to Dags, and that'll make second down more manageable.
Well, you want to give your tight end here a little bit more confidence. You know, in that last series, a pass that was thrown towards him was intercepted. So you're going to need Mike Dags in this game to help balance out this offense. Good to see him get involved early.
SFL Nation stepping up, 88 viewers and counting here as we approach the SFL Blitz halftime. We got a good game here on Friday Night Lights. Handoff to Ray Bentley. Boy, the superstar talent out here is it's a long list. Dags is there in the slot to the right for Willson on a 3rd down and 5. Willson straight back. Willson in some trouble. Willson, wobbly ball caught by Dags, but short of the first down as Joe Dazzo makes the stop, and another red zone stand for Baltimore.
Well, the short passing game not doing Mexico City any favors. Ray Bentley struggling to try and get the running game going. You know, in that first quarter, Mexico City looked a lot better when they were looking a little bit further downfield. Here, they're going to try and settle for a field goal attempt.
4th down and 2 at the 7. This is a 23-yard field goal for Cole Varner. Bad snap, but no pressure on the kicker, and smoothly Cole Varner puts it through. 7-6, Vultures over the Aztecs. Halfway through the second quarter, and a quick word coming from the SFL.
Join the world's fastest growing sim football community by jumping onto our Discord server. Use the Discord command in chat to keep up with schedules, news, notes, announcements, and polls. Jump off the sideline, then into the action.
Daly Holder is free. One man to beat. Varner can't drag him down, but eventually Holder is brought down at the Aztec 48-yard line. What a return from Daly Holder.
And this is a superstar wide receiver we saw in San Antonio last season, who was brought to Baltimore to provide this kind of explosion to help this team. Ultimate teammate, willing to do whatever it takes to you know, you rarely see number 1 wide receivers go to another franchise and be willing to be their special teams returner. Here, just an unselfish act by Daly Holder, and a talented receiver back there receiving kicks for that very reason.
Thank you, Swole 2011, for hosting us tonight, as Dazzo's pass is awkwardly off the hands of Shea Carroll, as they can't make a connection. And some shout-outs here tonight. Mix RR with the most recent 100 cheered.
And that was a dangerous ball there by Dazzo. You know, Agawa, the guy who just came up with an interception, nearly had his 2nd pick of the night. He would have got his big paw on that one. That could have been a pick 6.
Dazzo's out of the gun. They've gone a little bit away from T. Roy Gaines after he had a really nice first quarter. Nickel look for the Aztec defense, and the pass caught one-handed by Carroll, but that's not going to do much. Closing down, Jack Brown and Agawa on the tackle after a gain of only 3.
And the playbook doing those receivers no favors there, as they had a bit of a crossing route, and the two receivers ran into each other, which caused Carroll to have to come up a little bit back towards the quarterback in order to catch that ball. negating what would have been a bigger game.
SFL player personnel with the 600 bits cheered. 3rd down and 7. Dazzo's going to be sacked, and Rastelli said, "How you like them biddies?" And I say they are well proportioned.
Well, here, a good play by the defense. Really a coverage sack for the Aztecs as Dazzo just had no one to throw to and gave that defender enough time to come up and make the sack.
Izanagi with 500 bits cheered in the chat. Yours look mighty fine too, sir. Otto JCG with 100. That's a tongue twister. From the 12, Dags gets spun down like a top at the 18-yard line. 4:23 left in the first half, and a fast-moving first half of play as these two teams go round and around again. Boy, 4 different times Ramos Lynn has taken on either Tim Johnston or Thomas Paterniti. All 4 times the home team has won. And 3 out of the 4 times Mexico has hosted that game. And Ray Bentley gets a block. Bentley 35 out of the 39-yard line before Willis makes a stop. That bumps his average up to 4.
Well, really love that play call by Mexico City. Able to provide Ray Bentley with a blocker there on the strong power O. The guard pulls out. Perfect block. Allows Ray Bentley, who's known as a power back, to use his explosion to get around the corner and gain big yardage on his best run of the night.
First time these two teams met was July 19th, 2015. It was the Santa Fe Gorillas at the Baltimore Crabs, and Baltimore won 38-31. Greg Corky was on the call with me for that game as that pass is caught by Dags. First down to the Vulture 49-yard line, and Willson has looked a lot sharper tonight, Stephen, than he did in week 1 when we had him against Alaska.
Yeah, and that's a tough situation to be put in. Alaska beat the Aztecs in the playoffs the prior season, and then to ask them to go into Alaska and try to defeat the defending champions would be hard for anyone. But this is a Mexico City team that was red hot at the end of last season. And so no surprise that they were just 2 games away from another championship last year.
Kaz McFly wraps up KL Barrett, but not before he can get the first down to the Vulture 38-yard line. It's kind of amazing. The Aztecs have moved the ball pretty well on pretty much every series they've had tonight, but just 6 points to show for it. That's what Baltimore did to Queen City last week in that 17-10 victory, their first of the season. And right now they've got 7 in the box here, showing some pressure. And on first down, Willson will take a 5-step drop, back to pass, caught by Dags. Dags has made his money on that crossing pattern. Another tackle by Amon takes, and Wilson's up to 111.
Well, it's almost as if the offensive coordinator for Mexico is really just testing this Baltimore defense. They're in a typical run formation there. The previous play where they had an offset fullback, but they're throwing out of that formation, trying to see if they can catch the defense sleeping.
Trap play, Ray, and if it was a better block, it would have been a touchdown. Tony Willis saves 6 points more for Mexico City as we get another look at it.
Yeah, it gets no easier for Bentley here as he has a wide open hole in the middle of the offensive line. Like you mentioned, if the fullback, number 22 there, Tovar, is able to hold that block for just a second longer, Bentley's gone.
Nathan Blake with 100 bits, and that was really well done by Tony Willis. I mean, right as he got engaged, he disengaged to make the play. 1st and 10 at the 24. Last play before the 2-minute warning. Good pressure by the Baltimore defensive front, all up in the face of Willson. Albert Butler on the sack, and that takes us to the 2-minute warning. This is Friday Night Lights on the SFL Network on Twitch TV, presented by APM Music. SFL Blitz coming up at the half. All the excitement, if you missed it, coming your way from week number 3. So we take one last look back at it, including top 10 plays for the first time in week 3. 3rd down and 12 after that loss or short gain, rather, for Bentley at the 26. Willson straight back, throwing end zone, and I don't know where he's throwing that one, Steven, as Willson looks a little jumpy on those straight dropbacks.
Yeah, if you got hit by a 300-pound guy, you'd probably be a little confused or discombobulated as well. But there, looks like possibly that Barrett was just stopped on the route. Maybe he got bumped on the route a little bit there and wasn't where Willson thought he would be.
43-yard field goal for Cole Varner. Another field goal potentially on the board for Mexico City, trying to go 3 for 3 in the first half, and you got it. 9-7, Mexico City. One step closer to getting back above 500.
And this is a kicker in Cole Varner, who coming into the night was a perfect 5 for 5 and continues that streak through the first half.
300 bits from Colin Northrup in prime time this week, Monday night. We get to see the St. Louis Gladiators and the Carolina Skyhawks. That is going to be a fun one, as Daley Holder returns up to the 24-yard line, and Mike Dazzo gets one last crack at it here before we get to halftime.
Well, it's got its full complement of timeouts, more than enough time with the minute 43 to take the ball down the field. And the way that they've been kind of ignoring their running game tonight, not really looking to it, although it's been very successful when they have. The passing game and getting out of bounds quickly is going to be key on this drive.
3 receivers, hand it off to Gaines. Gaines, first carry in quite some time, and he nearly got the first down, and I think it caught the Aztecs off guard as Gaines picks up another good gain.
Yeah, it caught me off guard as well. I mean, it doesn't really make any conventional sense with a minute and now 25 left in the game to start running the ball and running that clock. But clearly, Gaines has been on point tonight, and if they think they can get into scoring range with him, why not?
Malone's at the bottom of the screen. 2nd and inches, they're going to run him again. Here comes Gaines right at you. T. Roy Gaines got the first down, and now Mexico City, or Baltimore rather, will go no huddle.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they ran the ball again, but clearly could absolutely happen.
Well, Dazzo going to throw. Instead out to Gaines, and Gaines will not break a tackle. Really nice job. I believe that was King Wallace out there making the hit down to 45 seconds. Still all 3 timeouts for Baltimore. They don't seem to be in too big of a hurry. The handoff goes to Gaines, and this drive is going nowhere. Timeout Baltimore. They need to regroup on 3rd down.
And that's Jack Brown. That's the third-year linebacker. It's going to be hard to fool him more than once. And he knows out of this formation what they're looking for, either to run the ball or if they're going to throw out the possible the screen or the swing pass there. So good opportunity for Baltimore to go take a timeout and get these plays reworked.
3rd and 6 at the 39. Dazzo looking outside. Good adjustment of the ball by Shea Carroll. 30 seconds to go. Baltimore keeping the timeouts in their pocket.
Good job by Carroll there to get turned around and up the field very quickly.
Dazzo at 21 seconds left. Dazzo going long, throws a duck up there. Incomplete. Looking for the big fella, tight end out there. Number 86, Edward Morgan, 274 pounds, 2nd down.
Like you said, quack on the pass there. But Dazzo just under tremendous pressure, just trying to get the ball out. Big fella can't come down with it.
Line shifts from right to left. Dazzo changing the play at the line at the Aztec 47. 3-step drop for Dazzo. Fires a pretty ball to Carroll, and Carroll manages to get out of bounds. Critical.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job by Carroll there. Good play calling. Knowing that you are getting really close to field goal range. Let's get the ball out of bounds. Give us maybe 2 more plays to try and break that 35, that Mexico City 35 kind of border there for a 50-yard field goal.
3rd down and 3 at the 40. 4 wide for Dazzo with still 2 timeouts in his pocket. Baltimore maybe trying to take the lead before the half, and Dazzo flips it outside. Caught by Malone. Got out of bounds with 9 seconds to go, and now Baltimore's right on the outskirts of field goal range.
Yeah, I don't know if I take it out of bounds. I understand what the receiver's trying to do to stop that clock. You still have 2 timeouts left. You need to try and make this as short as possible attempt for your kicker. Let's see what they decide to do here.
I think they're going to kick it. Yeah, Tarkington is on the field, the rookie. 6'2", 220, a 51-yard field goal to give Baltimore the lead just before the half. And from 51 yards away, Tarkington's field goal is short, no good. And it gives it back to Willson with 5 seconds left.
And that's what we were talking about with that Malone going out of bounds. If he would have opted to try and get just another yard, that could have been a made field goal. The decision to go out of bounds when he still had 2 timeouts there takes points off the board.
96 viewers, SFL Blitz coming up right here at the half, the second edition of the SFL Blitz, where we will run through all of the best of what Week 3 had to offer as we get started in Week 4 here tonight. Matt Willson throwing a Hail Mary up to end the half. Willson got a cannon of an arm all the way intercepted in the back of the end zone. Threw it too far out in front, and Hendricks Thornberry's got another interception.
A 70-yard potato. The arm on Willson, impressive. Obviously doesn't hit the marks there, but boy, you know, don't ever question Wilson's arm strength. My goodness.
That is the end of the first half. The 2K Sports halftime report coming up just before the SFL Blitz, as we'll take a look at the first half stats and highlights. Well, what stood out to you, Stephen? Very good ball game here.
Yeah, it's a competitive ball game. For me, it's a tale of 2 quarters, Cam. The first quarter was defined by offensive efficiency. We saw both teams run the ball fairly well. We saw them pass the ball very well. In the second quarter, it was more about some key turnovers and mistakes, highlighted by the missed field goal at the end of the game that would have given the Vultures the 1-point lead. Instead, they go down 2 in halftime.
They would have just gotten 2 more yards on that drive. It was a really nice 2-minute drive, considering the struggles maybe towards the beginning of it. But Baltimore, it's a game of inches. The SFL, man, it starts to get tight as we enter month number 2 of the season. Gaines with 31 yards and a touchdown. Ray Bentley up to 55 yards. And Amon takes 8 tackles in the first half, Stephen.
Yeah, absolute monster. That linebacker core, I think we're going to start hearing some buzz around the league about that group, because Amon takes and Dazzo, and even, you know, the role player that's out there, Courtney Kate, they were impressive, and they've been impressive stopping one of the best running backs in the SFL and in its history. Here we see Ray Bentley get a rare long run, but that hasn't been typical for the big man tonight. We've seen Ahmad Takes be on him like a backpack, you know, for much of this night. And, you know, somebody here is going to have to give in this 9-7 battle. I expect that we're going to see a little bit more of offensive explosion here in the second half, because these two teams are just too good to leave it at this score.
The SFL Blitz is right around the corner in our extended Friday Night Lights halftime report. We're back to Estadio Azteca after this. Welcome to the SFL Blitz Week 3 edition. We begin in Denver. The Blitz game of the week in week 3 was in the Mile High City. 13-10, Denver on top of San Francisco as we jump to the third quarter, and Sam Blanchek with the touchdown. They should call him Blank Check for what he's getting paid, but he was outstanding on this day. Again, San Francisco trying to cut into the deficit, and Blanchek is all alone. Then Razatarian Sloan with the Sharks still down 7. Look at this onside kick. Watch him stare at it. San Francisco recovers. Now 3rd and goal at the 3. A draw out of the gun. That's gutsy. 27-27. Now 34-27. The Sharks are at it again. Rob Roby to Gabriel Manning in Roby's first game in an SFL uniform, and then in overtime. Sloan, you started the madness. Why don't you finish it? Field goal good, and the Sharks get their first win of the season, 37-34. We spoke with Rob Roby after the game. His son was shot earlier in the week. He's okay, but to play your first game and win it, it was amazing. This is what he said. It was surreal. Life has a way of knocking you down at your highest moments and can leave you lost in trying to find your way back to success. When I got news that my son had been shot while coming from playing basketball, it left me in a dark place, a place that I had not been for years. I'm happy to say that it was the SFL that shed light on such a dark moment in my life when I had very few people to turn to. I recall making a couple of calls that went unanswered. The SFL responded immediately when I reached out. For that, I am eternally grateful to have such a great community of people respond with so much empathy and kind words. The win against Denver showed me that even while life can be harsh on good people, there is always some good left in this world. What a story. Rob Roby gets his first career win, his first comeback win in his first career game. Now, Oklahoma City out to New Orleans as some teams, a lot of teams in week 2, got their first wins of the season. Opening drive, week 3 rather. New Orleans gets an interception, and that would spark trouble for Oklahoma City. The former Renegade, Dunk Bunkers, is loose. Pharaohs took the lead, but just before the half, Dave Drury forces the fumble, and Oklahoma City tacks on a field goal. Now New Orleans up 27-23, and the Deacon is putting out dimes, 30-27. Now, fourth quarter, Tank Bennett picks it off, and Tank Bennett is loose. A 96-yard interception return for a touchdown, and Tank Bennett would put the game out of reach. 34-30, the Pharaohs get their first franchise victory. We talked to defensive coordinator David Gantz after the game, and he had this to say about Tank Bennett. I truly believe Tank Bennett was the steal of the draft. Last week, when I saw Tank intercept the ball, and oh my, we lost the quote there on Bennett. We'll try to get that up. We'll try to get that up as soon as we can. But until then, we'll move on to the highlights. Queen City and Baltimore. Boy, Queen City had plenty of chances to score in this one. Doink off the pole on their opening drive. Then, at the beginning of the second quarter, Caswell is picked by Hendricks Thornberry in the red zone. Still nothing's on the board. How about Baltimore? Can they get a touchdown? 3rd and goal from the goal line, and Dazzo decides to throw. That ends in just a field goal. Flash forward to the fourth quarter. Ash Odom, the touchdown machine, getting going. Queen City's up 10-3, but that's when the Vultures turned on the heat. Shea Carroll from Mike Dazzo ties the game at 10. And then with 35 seconds to go, Dazzo, ice water in his veins. Garrett Malone, 30, 20, 10, and tackled at the 1. They wouldn't make the same mistake twice. T. Roy Gaines scores 17-10. Baltimore gets their first
snap,
win.
and the kick is
similar
blocked,
problem
and
with
the ball is
scoring in
loose. Recovered by Vancouver at the
Friday Night
21-yard
Lights
line.
Chicago blocks a
turnover
field goal.
if you're a Wildcat
10
fan.
and
30
6
seconds
to
to go
go
in the
third. Late in the third
Split
quarter.
backs for Biddix.
Vancouver trying to
Biddix
score
shuffles the
touchdown,
feet,
and A.J.
fires,
Barnes
it's intercepted at the goal
Vancouver
line
would
by
eventually
A.J. Barnes.
get things
Down
right
in 13
in the fourth quarter.
as
Mark
Biddix is
deep,
looking long in the wide open, and nobody in
catch.
sight.
Trevor Farrell,
That's
nobody's gonna
Trevor
touch it.
Farrell,
Vancouver
and that's a
takes care of
touchdown
Chicago,
for
16-6.
Vancouver
They improve
as Chicago's
to 1
defense
and
is
2. Well, there was
burned.
no problem scoring points in this one. Las Vegas at Dallas. We go to the second quarter. Shabazz Synergy. This guy was a touchdown machine. This one out to junior, senior, the third, and then Robert Redford. How would he respond? Like that, and then like that. Touchdown for Robert Redford, and the Fury down by just 3. Now, Las Vegas up 1. Synergy. What a laser! Out to Mike Osai. He was all over this game. Fury up again. 28-27 to start the fourth. Synergy again. Touchdown to the big tight end. 28-37. Vegas would not go away. Look at this pursuit of the quarterback, and from behind, taking the legs out from Synergy and forcing a fumble. Too little too late, but we got to show it. Max Jackson, back-to-back weeks with a kickoff return. But Vegas falls to Dallas, and the Lobos become the 4th team in week 3 to get their first win of the season. Well, all of those quarterbacks and all 4 victories had 300 or more yards passing. So here are the top quarterbacks from the SFL so far this season in terms of QBR and touchdown interception ratio. How about Deacon Nickens up at the top of the charts, 116.5, but look there, number 4. Kentez Johnson, the only rookie on the board, 8 touchdowns, 6 picks with 101.5 QBR. Ron Cochran and Josh Miller doing their things. Josh Miller, by the way, in that San Francisco game did not throw an incompletion until the 3rd quarter. That is unbelievable. When we come back, we'll take a look at how the top 2 teams from last season fared as the SFL Blitz continues. The defending champion Sioux Falls, or Alaska Storm, host of the Sioux Falls Sparrows on the opening drive. Alex Dominguez at 2.5 sacks. Say no more. The dominance began early. Ron Cochran was impressive. Optimus Klein to the back corner of the end zone. Now it's 10-0 Alaska. And Tyree still having trouble. Throws a pick over the middle. It was all Alaska all the time. 13-0 late in the first half. Cochran again from the 4-yard line. Touchdown, just standing there, waiting on the football. Jason Julian needs a pay raise. Second half, Sioux Falls turn it around. The answer, 3 backs, 2 emphatic, 2 backs, 3 receivers. Tyree runs in to another sack. Boy, this is getting old. That was A.J. the best SFL nation. Third and goal at the 2. Cochran in zone, touchdown. Robert Merrill now 34-3. And that brings us to the Spy Goat of week 3. And it's Ron Cochran. 46 of 54. 420 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Ron Cochran, the Spy Goat of week 3. Well, Alaska wasn't the only team in the Season 10 championship game. How about Tallahassee visiting Tulsa? This game was defensive early too. Hey, Charles Ball in the end zone, making things happen. Still no score. Late first quarter. Michael Martin's in the gun, waiting patiently, and Alex Bond is gonna knock this away. 6-3 late in the first half. Martin just that close to scoring a touchdown, but Tulsa would have to settle for another field goal. Now, you see Jaye Inyola's numbers right there. He was pretty much bottled up until this play. 6-6, and Jaye Inyola is not touched. Just cruising to the end zone. No way anybody's going to catch that. Tallahassee up 13-6, and you bet that is, in fact, a touchdown for the Pride. A nice little celebration there for Inyola. Quieting the crowd. Tulsa had plenty of opportunities, down 7, but their running game was really bad on this day. Less than 1 yard to carry. Hunter Norwood with the tackle in the backfield. Tallahassee, just like Alaska, is 3-0, and that makes history. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, one team that made the championship last season started a season 3-0. In fact, most of the time, champions and runner-ups start the next season awful. It's the first time in league history that one team that was in the championship of the previous season has started 3-0, and both of them have done it here in season 10. Look at that. Overall, champions and runners-up in league history are 14-34 in their first 3 weeks of action. You're watching the SFL Blitz. We've got some SFL shenanigans that went on in week 3, and we'll touch on that when we return. You're watching the SFL Blitz on the Friday Night Lights Halftime Report. Ah, yes, the Eggplant Bowl. London and Carolina, first quarter, Phil Hall, in the first minute actually, picks off Nathan Lee, but that would actually be his only interception of the night, but not London's only turnover. Next drive, Tristan Carr fumbles. This time Carolina would capitalize. Hand off to A.J. Francis, and the Skyhawks are in for 6. 7-0, and look at Francis dropping an eggplant in the end zone. Early second quarter, Nathan Lee finally gets it going, finds James Hands for the touchdown, 7-7, now 14-7, Jacques Ulandula. Look at that pass, in between 4 defenders. He's having a great first 3 weeks of the season. Third quarter, 17-10, Carolina's up. This was close. Donnie Hands got the touchdown. Upon further review, did stretch the ball over the goal line, and it was in fact a touchdown. But somebody's got to cover Jalen Miller. Jalen Miller's got 4 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks, all of 50-plus yard variety. And Carolina goes up 24-17. 1 second left. Oh, no. Not another Hail Mary against the Skyhawks. No, Nathan Lee's pass is knocked away. And that ends the highlights from Carolina and London. So, who's next? Well, we go to the Hive in Atlanta, where Houston and Atlanta played a close competitive game. The doctor is in for his only catch of the day. Houston goes up 7-3. Still pretty ball from Kentez Johnson as Johnson's pass caught by Badir Ashlani, who breaks a tackle, and Houston's all over Atlanta early, 14-3. This was Johnson's day. Now to the second half. 20-13, Mahmoud Ajlani was the only player that was getting in Johnson's head on this day. 3 interceptions as the Ajlani brothers were going back and forth in Atlanta. Marcus Dunhill, deep ball to Boo Chisholm, tied the game. But Kentez Johnson, too much. Hits his 3rd different receiver for a touchdown, and Houston wins 27-20. Indianapolis at St. Louis, and this one was all Gladiators. Dylan Asil hit as he threw, but a perfect pass into the end zone for a score. 13-6, St. Louis on top of Indy. Now it's the 4th quarter, and now Denzel Diaz is going to rumble in for a touchdown. That made it 20-6. St. Louis loving it. Now 2-1 are the St. Louis Gladiators. And Indy, late in the game, trying to come back. Ethan Cott with the interception. St. Louis gets the victory. Hey, fan night is coming up Monday, and it's going to be a good one. St. Louis at Carolina. St. Louis has improved their offense by a touchdown a game. The all-time series history is tied at 1, and look at those turnover differentials. +7 for St. Louis, +4 for Carolina. That's Monday night, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Fan night game of the week with Steven and myself on Twitch TV. Well, it's what you've all been waiting for besides the second half of Baltimore and Mexico City if you're catching this live. It's the top 10 plays of week 3. Number 10, Dunk takes care of his former team.
Seems to get the bonkers, and Dunk will pick up the first down.
Gets the job done, and OKC burns their last TO. So the fat lady is running through her scales.
A great block by the guys up front.
Number 9,
Second
Rob
and goal from the
Roby's
6.
career is on the
Denver
board.
stacking the box. They'll back out into coverage. Doesn't matter. Mickey Martino. Touchdown, Sharks.
Yeah, and I called it. You know, it's like a Pavlov dog reaction. Denver were, sort of expecting probably a run play. But no, it's an opening for San Francisco. They caught them unaware, probably. And touchdown.
Number 8, the Deacon is collecting and putting dimes in the basket.
Drops deep, goes over the middle, Bovine to the skies, catches the second touchdown of the game.
We'll see you, Pharaohs.
Tiberius going deep on the post. Beats Compton, who went up for the ball and just perfectly thrown by the Deacon. Everybody say amen.
Amen. Can I get an amen?
Number 7,
5-step
Dylan,
drop here
the
by
magician.
Asu, gets pressure, makes a man miss. He steps up into the pocket. He has all day long. Now he decides to run it, and he picks up about 15 yards on that play. First and 10 on the run and scramble of Dylan Asu.
Yeah, it's very Steve Young-esque, man. He's in there, and he's willing to throw deep, and he's got an arm on him, but he is not afraid to take it out. I mean, that's the third or fourth time we've seen him run. It's the second first down he's picked up.
Number 6, Emil is better with 2 scoops to end it.
Throws over the middle, tipped and intercepted. Always off the hands of the receiver, and he was picked up by Eddie Gage. Eddie Gage has extended the ball game, and that is it. Houston is going to pick up a win. They're going to go to 2-1 on the year. It was zipped in a bit too fast for the receiver. Unfortunate for Atlanta.
Number 5,
7
Hendricks
right
with
now.
2 X's getting
44 yarder
filthy.
from here. Caswell goes long right side. That's picked off at the 6-yard line, and that is Baltimore's secondary making a really big statement there, stopping Caswell before he can get it.
Wild Thornberry out there making the play, keeping the game scoreless. Really nice coverage, and he one-handed that as he turned around and took it away from a teammate. What a brilliant play. Number 4, Redford can't be pulled over.
Get to Redford up the middle, runs over 2 people,
he's
and
through.
there goes Robert Redford to the end zone. 40 yards in one play, touchdown Las Vegas.
Woo, woo. Boom goes the dynamite, right there. Hey, Dallas, I'll see your answer. Touchdown of our own.
Watch this first hit. Boom. And then he just makes Cain Velasquez look silly.
Lowers his shoulder, and he's got a head of steam. Basic physics right there.
Number 3,
Lee
stop.
in the gun.
You need a hole
First
pass.
down and 10. Fires over the middle, and it is picked off. Intercepted by the Skyhawks defense. Phil Hall from the inside linebacker position with the pick.
Holmes back in zone and reads it. Oh, he one-handed that thing. Wow, it's one thing when a wide receiver can do it. When your linebacker can moss a pass, that's impressive.
Number 2, the tank is loose and the Pharaohs have
Let's
risen.
go, duck to the end zone.
Oh.
It's picked up.
Oh my!
It's picked up by Tank Bennett, and Bennett is running.
no!
Oh, he's in the open field. There goes Tank Bennett all the way back from his own 5,
No
95
flags.
yards to the end zone.
Oh my gosh!
And the Deacon is robbed again.
Oh, Arrington called that pick in the chat. Holy cow!
Tank Bennett using those go-go gadget arms and some great blocks from his defensive mates. Turns this game on its head.
Number 1,
See if San
Razatarian
Francisco
Razzle
goes to the
Dazzle.
onside kick here, and they do. We'll see if they're able to field it. Ball bouncing around. Big old hop. Denver's still on the... Oh, the ball is still on the field. San Francisco is able to field it. That is the most insane onside kick I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh boy, the ball was, as we see the replay, the ball was in front of the Denver player. I gotta catch who it was, but San Francisco just picks it up before he does. What a play.
Those are your top 10 plays of Week 3. And this has been the Week 3 SFL Blitz. Stay tuned to the SFL YouTube network for Week 4's edition, presented by APM Music. The second half of the Baltimore Vultures and the Mexico City Aztecs is up next for all 100 of you watching live on Twitch. Stephen Molinek, Scott LaRue, and yours truly will be back in 2 minutes to start the second half.
Chilling in Alaska, swarming in Atlanta, vultures out in Baltimore, Kira, Carolina, they wildin' in Chicago, howling down in Brooklyn, Mile High in Denver, that Tallahassee crowd is deep, they lunching in Vancouver, Desperado shooting, the renegades on the loose, the hyenas looting, gold out in QC, who higher than them sparrows, the fury swooping in divine order for the pharaohs, Indy on the rise, the sharks about to mash, gladiators, knights and Aztecs about to clash. Welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see the all-pro party. Now welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see an all-pro party. First and 10, I'm so aggressive. The end zone, the game plan, no pressure. They gotta pay me how they measure me. You know these haters on my back like the referee. You know I'm in it to win it. Game day, I'm about my business, I gotta get it. So I'm all about my ends. And these non-stop wins. They can't touch us, can't touch us. We turning up on these suckers. You know the D brought the rockets. Cause we tighter than the huddles. Welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see the all-pro party. And welcome to my all-pro party. Baby girl, this an all-pro party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to see an all-pro party.
And we are back to Estadia Azteca. Steven, are you alive out there?
Yeah, what a wonderful job on the SFL Blitz as always. Man, let me tell you what a terrific set of games that we had in Week 3, and we've got a good one here.
Mexico City gets started here in the second half. From the 8-yard line, Jeffrey Daggs on the return out to the 27-yard line. Make sure that if you saw the broadcast tonight, give us a view on YouTube. Keep our numbers up. Obviously, we want to be able to bring that to you in the middle of the week, usually, to give you some bonus content. But this week, the league had some outside HQ business, let's put it that way, and trying to make this league bigger and better. So we ran into some schedule complications there as Matt Wilson's pass is caught by Barrett, who's had a quiet night. It's been tough getting him going. Defended most of the night by McFly. That's a pickup of 7.
Let's go over some first half stats, Cam. On Mexico's side, they're offensively Willson, 12 of 16, 111 yards, 2 interceptions, but completed 75% of his passes. Mike Daggs, the tight end, was the leading receiver, 5 receptions for 28 yards. Ray Bentley, 55 yards on the ground, 13 carries, averaging 4.2 yards per game. On Baltimore's offense, Dazzo, 14 of 20, 120 yards, 1 interception. Malone and Carroll both had 4 receptions. And T. Roy Gaines, 32 rushing yards on 5 carries.
And off the Bentley, got a first down out of the Aztec 43-yard line. And that moves the sticks for the Aztecs.
Well, they're obviously trying to get the big fella going early. It's always a good game plan. You know, this Baltimore linebacker core has really done a great job of wrapping Bentley up early past the line of scrimmage here. Just too good of a blocking job by Mexico City, able to get the big fella rumbling a little bit.
3 receivers, hand off to Ray, and Ray puts his head down and picks up a first down to the Vulture 42-yard line. Ray Bentley's starting to get it going here in the third quarter.
Uh-oh, danger, danger, Will Robinson. Look, do not let Bentley start going. This guy is a runaway train, and if he gets it going like this here in the second half, there's not much that's going to be able to stop him.
First and 10 of the 42, 2 backs and 2 receivers. 7 in the box for Baltimore, handoff to Bentley again, and Bentley is brought down from behind. That's Giovanni Bolt getting involved, gain of 1.
I want to do a quick shout out here to our stat guru, Scott LaRue. Thank you, sir, for all you do, and thank you for those first half stats.
And leading the stat team as well. And shout outs to IMF and Problem, Mythic Waffle with 100 bits. Colin Northrup had quite a few there right at the beginning of the half as Willis knocks that away. Willis having a nice game. It's 3rd down and 9, and for Matt Willson, that was just incompletion number 4.
Well, tremendous amount of patience there by Willson. Again, that short drop, able to stand in the pocket with really bullets flying past his head, able to keep us cool, get the ball out. Wasn't exactly a spiral, but had an opportunity there to be a big play to his most targeted receiver so far, tight end Daggs.
Wilson's pass is caught for the first down. That's the fullback out there, first down of the 23-yard line, and amazingly enough, I've been trying to access, Stephen, the all-time leaderboards all night because I know Mike Dazzo and Matt Willson are starting to kind of tussle back and forth up there. And I was informed by our webmaster that we have, in fact, run out of space. So we have to apparently pay for more space because our website's got too much stuff on it. That's when you know you've arrived, when you've got to buy more space on your website. As Ray Bentley takes another handoff and picks up 1.
Good job there by Baltimore's defensive line, able to close up those running lanes, forcing Bentley to the outside where there was a linebacker waiting for him. So really good push by the interior of that defensive line for the Vultures.
Shout-outs to Eric JDWA, Gooner Bear 94, Dags 83, MBM Willis, Hendricks Thorne, LX Clinton, and many others there in the chat. Those dominating here just more recently as Bentley gets his head ripped off again by Amon Takes, who is easily having his best game of his first 3 so far.
Yeah, terrific game. 8 tackles there in that first half, just notched his 9th, but boy, did he make a great open field tackle on one of the hardest to bring down running backs in the SFL.
So now 3rd down and 8. Mexico City probably a bit tired of settling for field goals. Straight back Willson. Willson fires. Montague's got to turn the corner. Cannot do it. Tony Willis shuts him down, and Baltimore just will not give anything inside the 20.
Well, do you expect anything less from the 5th-year veteran Tony Willis, able to come up so big in last year's championship game to bring the Storm their first trophy ever in franchise history, now bringing his talents to Baltimore and proving this front office was right to bring over the free agent.
32-yard field goal for Cole Varner. Got it again. Varner is 4 for 4, and you mentioned earlier, Stephen, that he was 5 for 5, so now 9 for 9 on the very young season.
Yeah, quickly establishing himself as the most reliable kicker here in the SFL. This is a talented Mexico City team that not only has already a Hall of Famer under center, but several other candidates on their roster.
102 now watching on the SFL Network on Twitch. We greatly appreciate it. We don't want to be alone. Stephen and I are lonely people. We don't want to be alone. Thank you for being in our homes tonight. 6:44 in the third quarter. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. I should say welcoming us into your homes, but you're out of chips and none of the soda's cold, and it's frustrating.
You know what? But it's football, and that's the great thing. You know, in this season, when everybody's anxious about not having football in their homes, you can have it in your homes here in early August, which is great.
1st and 10 at the 24. The handoff goes to T. Roy Gaines running left, and T. Roy's got a block 40-45 midfield. He's not going to outrun many, but T. Roy Gaines slams it down for 62 yards, and the Vultures are quickly on the Aztec side of the field trying to take the lead.
Well, give that run all the credit to the blocking in front of Gaines there. It went untouched for a good 20 yards. Cam, we could have given you the ball, and you could have got at least 5.
Oh, I'm blushing. 5 is generous.
It is.
5 is not accurate. 1st and 10 at the 46, 6:26 to go in the third. Line shifts from right to left, and Dazzo decides to change the play at the line. Mike Dazzo, 3-step drop, now fires it out to Gaines. Gaines has to make the first man miss, and does, but ran out of room. Pickup of 2, King Wallace with the stop, and Gaines is just, I still have not seen him get brought down on the first tackler.
Well, excellent job there by the secondary defender to come up at Wallace and able to make that tackle. Just providing good support, especially when you know you got a guy like Gaines in the back of the field who is so efficient at breaking that first tackle. 2nd and 8,
trap play, Gaines, and hey, how about that? There it is. Wrap up by Carlos Powers. Brings Gaines down right where he stood at the Aztec 40-yard line. 3rd down and 5, halfway through the third quarter. Mexico City winning with 4 field goals right now.
Well, Powers with a little bit of revenge, a little bit of karma there. As on the previous play, he's the one who got shouldered off by Gaines. Here, able to make the tackle.
3rd down, empty backfield for Dazzo. Audibling once more. And a dime look for Mexico City. Pass is incomplete. And I can't tell if it was deflected and then in the hands of Carroll, or if Carroll dropped it on the sideline, but either way, it stalls the drive.
Yeah, tough to blame Carroll in that situation. You have a defender flashing in front of you, and you're trying to determine the location of the ball. It's just a lot to keep up with, even for a veteran like him in his 2nd season. But, yeah, and again, just not a fan of throwing it in front of the sticks there on a 3rd down. Just putting too much of the onus on the wide receiver.
This is a pretty good punt. Look at the bounce. And they stopped it. What a play. What a play. You hardly ever see that. Pete Lloyd with the stop right at the 2-yard line.
Exactly, Cam. How many times have we seen them turn right and go into the end zone to cause that touchback there? The special teamer with the wherewithal just to stop just an inch short. They're going to put it on the 2-yard line.
Pablo Gates with the punt. And now Baltimore going to try to stifle Ray Bentley. Linebackers and line shift, hand off to Bentley. Bentley is doubled up right at the line of scrimmage. They may have given him a half a yard. Dazzo and takes the linebackers. Get him right at the line. This linebacking core, Stephen, may be the best we've seen so far.
And the Aztecs benefit from a real generous spot by the umps on that punt. And if they didn't have that, that might have been a safety.
2 receivers, 2 backs, hand off Bentley again. Look at the blocks. Oh, Bentley gets picked up and thrown down by Tony Willis. but a beautiful job by the offensive line and Mike Daggs out there to clean up the defensive front for Baltimore.
What is Tony Willis made of? Not many SFL defenders can take a helmet to the chest from Bentley and make him go backwards.
3rd down and 2. Willson hit as he threw, and McFly should have had it. And we have seen Willson go straight back and try to fire it out to Barrett a few times tonight. It is not working out. Baltimore's corners have played a great game.
Can we talk a little bit about McFly? I mean, this guy made his debut in week 3. 4 tackles, 3 pass defense, and an interception.
No McFly zone.
The no McFly zone. That dude, he's continuing his solid play tonight.
This is not a good punt, and Holder gets it up to the Aztec 36, so all that happens is a few minutes evaporate off the clock because this is 5 yards. This is where Shea Carroll dropped the ball, basically.
And this goes all back to that great special teams play to pin the Aztecs down in their own territory, giving the Baltimore Vultures really right on the edge, the precipice of field goal range.
4 receivers, 3 to the short side right for Dazzo. Again, calling a change of play out of the dime for Mexico City. Outside of Malone, who was all alone. And Wallace makes another tackle, picks up 3. King Wallace, man, that guy's a sure tackler, 3rd-year man, all with Mexico City.
Yeah, great coverage there by Wallace. If you can't tip that ball away or intercept it, minimizing the yards after catch is the best thing you can do, and Wallace there did it to perfection.
2nd and 7. Dazzo rolling out here. He's 2 for 2 on this, or 1 for 2 on this play, and the fullback's got a catch. 3rd down and inches. It's worked out for Dazzo. And as you mentioned earlier in the first half, Steven, you don't see that often out of SFL teams, but T-Pat reached into the bag of tricks, and I do want to say that there's not a single skill player in the game with over 100 yards, and we're almost to the 4th quarter.
Yeah, that rollout's really unusual, but you can see the benefits. I mean, he is, without any pressure, able to deliver that ball.
Gaines got it. 1st down. Daggs whiffed on an opportunity to bring Gaines down in the backfield. He kind of pulled a Rockefeller there. He didn't even look like he wanted to make the tackle.
Yeah, I think Jeffrey Daggs just had a bad angle on it, and boy, that's one of those where you shake your head and think, man, what could have been? That could have, stopped this drive early, but now instead you've got a 1st down in your own 25.
Gaines has 67 yards on just 8 carries. They got to feed this guy more. As Dazzo throws it backwards, Gaines makes a man miss. No gain, but that could have been disastrous for the Crabs, as that'll count as a run.
Yeah, I think if Baltimore looks back on this game, they're gonna wish they went to Gaines just a little bit more in the rushing attack. Might be using him just a smidge too much as a receiver, but they are still in this ball game. So if they come out with the win, I think they're going to be happy regardless.
Kanye Rockefeller told me to go to hell on the chat for
wow,
saying that he pulled a Rockefeller. Pass is intercepted, dropped off the defender. Daggs going the other way to the 25-yard line, and what a mistake! As we get a second look at this, Baltimore turns it over in the red zone.
Redemption for Jeffrey Daggs after missing the tackle on the run. Here, able to get the ball off the tip pass. Not great coverage by Daggs, but a really excellent awareness. Being able to catch that ball in midair like that gives him a chance at redemption there. And let's see if Mexico City can take advantage of the turnover.
Mike Montgomery making a critical mistake for Baltimore, who still trails 12-7. The Crabs have had a number of opportunities in the last quarter or so to get some points as Bentley fell over. Or is that? No, check that. That's the fullback, Tovar, who's been active tonight, as Willson gets it away just in time.
Well, we've seen these fullbacks make some really good catches and athletic plays. That was not one of them. If you ever have to go to your back to make a catch there on the line of scrimmage, it's basically a wasted play.
Jeffrey Snags in the chat. That may be a new nickname there. I think that might stick. 2nd and 10 at the 25. Willson steps up in the pocket. Wilson across his body. What a throw! That's what Hall of Famers are made of. First down to Mike Daggs.
Oh my goodness! How many times can we've seen a quarterback throw against his body like that and it be an interception? The lefty with the strength going to his right, throwing to his left, and delivers a dime to Daggs. Wow.
That's an all-time play. That may be number one. That may be number one for the whole year.
Made me jump out of my seat.
Wow, what a play for Matt Willson as the handoff goes to Bentley, picks up just 3, and Kate brings him down on the tackle as we all come down from that brilliant throw from Matt Willson.
Wow, somebody give me a cigarette. That was a good play. I need a moment. I just need a moment to gather myself. That was so good, and so rarely do we see a play like that. And for a Hall of Famer, masterful, just masterful.
2nd and 7, handoff Bentley again. Kate puts him away. 6 yards. Bentley now 98 yards on 22 carries. And if you're wondering, Daggs now has 6 catches for 61 yards, more than any other receiver tonight.
Yeah, and this is a Aztecs team that has 2 quality receivers in Barrett and Montague. But Barrett, we've seen some struggles from him early, so they've gone to the tight end.
That is the end of the 3rd quarter. And we're getting right into the 4th. This game is too good. You're watching the SFL Network on APM Music. (12-7). Aztecs on top of the Vultures. Got a classic brewing between these two as Willson pump fakes, gets someone to jump, steps up in the pocket, fires down the field, incomplete. Off the hands of Daggs. 4th and 1 at the 33. What do you do, Steven?
Yeah, I think you take the points. Varner has been automatic for you all season. It's nearly, even at the Baltimore 33, I think it's a guaranteed 3 points because of how well your kicker's going. Has been playing, so I think it's a no-brainer here. Make it. It's still would be a 1-point game, but the Vultures would have to go for 2 after a touchdown. And the way that they've been playing tonight, I'd like the lead.
This is from 50 yards away, and Varner trying to go 5 for 5. Money.
Woo!
Man, could have made that from 54. The silver kicker. That's just money in the bank.
Perfect. And the way that, he compounds so much power in that short little setup, just an amazing leg on the guy.
While we watch the return from Holder, a word from the SFL presented by APM Music. You guys on the chat, don't forgive anything.
The Simulation Football League is presented by APM Music and is the official theme music provider of the SFL. Listen to their Champions Will Rise soundtrack at apmmusic.com today and search through thousands of tracks to boost the quality of your stream just like us. APM Music, production music library and custom music house.
Start of the drive for Dazzo, and Dazzo fires out to Montgomery, who just dropped that ball into the hands of Jeffrey Daggs, who makes this tackle.
Yeah, showing a lot of confidence there in the role player to come off the bench cold and to make a tackle and make up for his previous mistake that turned into an interception. So, not afraid to continue to build confidence in their bench players because they know they're going to need them throughout the game and throughout the season.
Dazzo to throw. Dazzo all kinds of time and tried to squeeze one into Malone. That pass is incomplete. Malone now 5 catches, 7 targets, 36 yards. There's not a single Vulture receiver over 42 yards, and Dazzo has just 136 on 18 of 27 passing.
Well, it's not for lack of trying. Both sides, both of these offenses have tried to look deep, and the defenses have just come to the call there. But at some point, you got to believe there's going to be a chink in the armor, and they're going to get something deep.
Oh, Garen Malone stabs it Man, that immediately made me want to go to a Brazilian steakhouse. I am so hungry right now. He just stabbed that sausage with a fork, and look at this throw.
Wow. A little bit ahead of the receiver, but Garrett Malone has established himself as the #1 target in the passing game for the Vultures, and for good reason. He can make plays like that. And going into this game, 21 receptions, 312 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Garrett Malone, 6 receptions, 4 receivers. Dazzo caught Holder. Man, really good slot receiver. And honestly, Steven, I wouldn't want to play Baltimore just because Daly Holder's in the slot. This receiving core is just lethal.
Yeah, that's like having Terrell Owens in the slot, or who else? Juan Bosco in the slot. Like just these monster, big, tall, thick, good wide receivers as your #3 option.
1st and 10 of the 29, over the middle again, and Carroll almost caught that off the bounce. I thought he may have hauled it in as he was going to the ground.
Well, a bang play here as the defender times his hit perfectly, able to get his hand in there, Cam. I think that was just enough to bother Carroll. I actually think the defender pulled down on Carroll's right hand. That's why he wasn't able to get it off the bobble.
Pablo Zamora gets in there. He's had a bit of a quiet night, although they have not looked his direction. 2nd down and 10 at the 29, 9:04 left to go in the 4th quarter. 2 backs. Dazzo rolling into a blitz, and Dazzo's going to go down. A loss of almost 10 on the play, and it puts them out of field goal range.
Well, let's give all the credit here to Mexico City's defense, able to dissect that play. They've seen Dazzo roll out one too many times, obviously keyed up, understanding, okay, he's going to roll out. We're seeing the telltale signs here that he's going to roll out, and they're blitzing to that side of the field, and that's why you don't see a lot of teams roll out with success.
Now 3rd down and 19 at the 38. Dazzo trying to get back into field goal range at least. Dazzo deep down the middle of the field, incomplete. Zamora blanketing Daly Holder, and I think Baltimore's going to have to punt again.
Yeah, I think, instead of just settling for the field goal here, they realized the score. They realized that they need to get into this ball game, and they decided to do it right then and go for the 1st down, throwing in double coverage, which is something Dazzo's seen all night long here. Just a disappointing end to the series that had a lot of positives going for it.
8:34 left in the 4th. Still plenty of time. And Baltimore is going to try to get another beautiful punt from Gates. This one is much shorter than the last. And Daggs returns it up to the 15-yard line. And before Willson gets back on the field, a word from the SFL.
Follow the SFL on Twitter @SimulationFL, on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels. You're already here, right? Might as well stay tuned. Get league updates on your phone while browsing the internet, and make sure you never miss a live broadcast. Thank you for supporting the SFL.
Willson on 1st and 10 hits Mike Daggs. Boy, Daggs is having a coming out party tonight, Steven. I mean, he's been awesome. 7 catches now on 9 targets.
Yeah, he's been the most targeted receiver downfield for Willson, and been fairly successful tonight. Willson not exactly having his best night here, as you see with the 58.9 quarterback rating, but I'm still surprised they're throwing as much as they are, Cam. I thought they would go through Bentley, especially here in the 4th quarter.
And off to Ray, and Ray loses 2 yards and almost missed the play. Reading Andy's comment in the chat, the guy in this ad sounds like he gets loads of girls. Golly, that's painful. 3rd and 5.
And tell you what else is painful, Cam, having 2 of Baltimore's best linebackers in the backfield, probably just as the ball is hiked. I mean, no chance for Bentley there.
Bentley on 3rd down and 5. Hurdles over defender, got it. 1st down. Tony Willis again slams him down, but Bentley makes it happen. He's over 100 yards.
That's what happens when you get the big fella, some blocking in front of them. They've been really successful in that particular formation, going to the left-hand side of the line I'm surprised they haven't done it a little bit more, but can we talk a little bit about Tony Willis coming up and meeting the challenge again and meeting Ray Bentley head on and putting him on his back?
2 backs and 2 receivers as Willson looking around. Oh, should have thrown a pick. Hit Bolt right in the hands as that pass was a little too far out in front of the intended receiver. 2nd down.
Well, the free agent from Carolina, that doesn't come any easier there for Bolt, but Giovanni Bolt has 2 interceptions on the season. Should have had his 3rd right there.
Wow. Baltimore's still down 8, and they've had all sorts of opportunities to take the lead in this ball game. Hand off to Bentley. Bentley picks up a block near a 1st down. Another excellent block by Tovar, and Mike Dagg's been picking up some big blocks out there as well tonight.
Look, when this big guy gets rumbling, it's hard to stop him. But tonight, we've seen the linebackers really do a really awesome job in stopping him. But when that Mexico City is able to get a nice opening for him and some blocks in front of him, Ray Bentley can take over a game.
Critical 3rd down. They couldn't stop him on 3rd down and 5. Hand off Bentley again. Got it again. 6 plays already on this drive, and the clock and the time is running out on the Vultures.
And it's the perfect playbook there. You know, that they have the lead. They have a pretty comfortable lead. I know it's still a 1-score lead, but an 8-point lead in this game, you know, it's good enough to win it, surely. And now they just want to run that clock. They're not interested necessarily in scoring again, but running the clock out on these Vultures.
And off Bentley. Bentley going to the outside. That's not his specialty necessarily. And Tony Willis there again to pick up a stop, no gain.
Yeah, Tony Willis has been a radar for Ray, and just finding where number 27 is, and then putting the wood to him.
2nd down at the 39-yard line. 5:20 to go and counting. They've had the ball for 3 minutes already. Hand off to Bentley, and Bentley's got to be getting exhausted here. Tony Willis again. He's taken over the game.
Did Ray Bentley date Tony Wilson's ex-girlfriend? Something must have happened off field, because Willis is all over Bentley right now, and it seems personal.
3rd down and 10. 4:54 to go. Can't tell if Bentley's still in the game or not. Wilson going to throw. Willson outside to Barrett, and it's ruled incomplete. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. Baltimore gets the stop, and once the Vultures, well, really, Tony Willis tired out Ray Bentley, and now they have a chance to go down and tie the game.
Well, you know, something tonight's just not right with K.L. Barrett. This is a guy who came in as the Aztecs' leading wide receiver, and he has just not been on the same page with Willson tonight. And that play there really highlights that fact. Even if he gets that catch, it's not even close to the 1st down marker. Those two are just not connecting tonight.
100 bits from Azan in the chat. Appreciate that. 1st and 10 of the 25 for Holder and the Vultures with 4:39 to go. Stephen, we saw this last week in the final 5 minutes of the ball game. They took it over against Queen City, and they do it again tonight.
Yeah, we haven't talked about that much tonight, but in week 3, the Vultures really came out and made a statement, defeating Queen City in Baltimore 17-10, and that was a surprise for a lot of people based on how the Vultures had played this season. But it just shows you these guys can be lethal and can defeat the best the league has to offer when given the opportunity.
Shea Carroll picks up 6. Prior to the game, we put up Who You Got, as we do every single week, and 69 out of 99 votes went to the Aztecs. So despite the Aztecs being on a bye, despite Baltimore getting a win last week against Queen City, they are still heavy underdogs, down just 8 with 4:10 to go in the 4th quarter. 4 wide receivers, Dazzo straight back slant, caught by Holder. What a play to the 38-yard line, zipped it right through, and Holder moves the chains for the Vultures.
Well, Holder's just too big, too bad to be contained here on the slant route from the slot. You know, such a big target for Dazzo. Nice job, bro.
Dazzo to throw, 3:45 to go. Where's that going? It hit Dags in the helmet. What was Jeffrey thinking? What's he looking at? It was right to him.
I'm more concerned about what Dazzo saw. I didn't see a receiver really anywhere close that it looked intended to. That is a straight-up miscommunication, and the Aztecs had an opportunity to really shut this game down and missed it.
3 receivers, 2 backs in the backfield. T. Roy Gaines still has less than 10 carries. 2nd and 10 at the 38-yard line. Nickel look for Mexico City. Good pressure by the defensive front. Dazzo gets away a duck. The pass is incomplete. Still rolling around. Oh, Carroll almost caught it. Oh, my goodness. That would have been amazing. 3rd down and 10.
Almost caught it on his back, Cam. First of all, he should have had that ball to begin with. You got to make that catch in the middle of the field. Allowing that ball to be tipped up like that is so dangerous. He could have saved it by bringing it in. Luckily for him and luckily for the Vultures, it hits the ground.
3rd down and 10 for Dazzo. Quick slant. Montgomery dropped it. Golly, he has been killing the Crabs here in the second half. And I think with all 3 timeouts, I think you got to punt it, Steven. You're in your own side of the field.
I understand why you do that. And the way this offense is played on these back-to-back plays, I don't blame you for putting it.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Just gut-wrenching. And when you think about this game, you don't really think about these quarterbacks having too terrible of a night.
No.
But it's not pretty. Both quarterbacks, no touchdowns, 2 picks, both under 200 yards. Remember, Dazzo had over 400 against Queen City last week as Dags returns the ball up to the 30, and now it's in Bentley's hands. 28 carries, 112 yards tonight, and most recently, Tony Willis has had his number.
Well, I think this is going to fall on Joe Dazzo and Ahmad Takis. We've seen them that we've seen them dominate Ray Bentley for portions of this game, and then Ray Bentley's had some solid runs. Also, Tony Willis, they're going to call on these defenders here to make these stops, get their offense the ball back.
And off Bentley, nothing. No, check that. Number 95, Max Xavier making the play as you get the updated numbers from both sides.
Well, that's the defensive end there, but surely a slew of linebackers right behind him to make that tackle. The Vultures know Mexico City wants to run this clock, and they're going to go through Bentley to do it.
7 in the box. Corners backing off. Now creeping up. McFly, bottom of the screen. Now linebackers showing some pressure. See if they bring it. They will wait for Bentley, and Bentley can't get away. Kate makes the stop. What a play. Loss of 1, 3rd down and 11.
What a great individual play by Kate there, able to just barely but shoestring tackle Bentley, but able to get the job done. Huge play from the role player there on the outside.
And what's even more critical is because he stopped him right away, Mexico City has to snap the ball again before the 2-minute warning.
Huge.
1 second differential between the 2 clocks. 2 backs and 2 receivers on 3rd down and 11. Wilson going to hand it to Ray. Ray is running backwards, and Amon puts him down. 2-minute warning. Baltimore's got one more shot on one of the better games so far in the SFL's Season 11. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on Twitch.tv. Well, if Baltimore happens to go 1-3, they know they've got an awesome defense after these last couple of games. I mean, they are just playing lights out. Not much there for Holder, up to the 33-yard line. 1:53 left, and this is the same Baltimore team who was tied in the final minute last week and ended up winning the game.
And I think the difference is that wide receivers made plays for Dazzo late in that game. So far here in the 4th quarter, we've already seen, I think, as many as 3 drops. So the wide receivers not coming to play. They need to here in the final 2 minutes.
Malone 6 for 58, Carroll 5 for 48, Holder 3 for 22. Pass caught, first down to the 46-yard line. The reception was made by Malone. That's his 7th on 9 targets. By the way, Carroll just 5 catches on 9 targets. Dazzo 3-step drop, 1:38 to go. Out to T. Roy Gaines. Gaines with his 5th catch. He got 9 yards. Clock keeps him over the 45-yard line. This is where I make the big bucks.
Make it, big boy, make it.
3 receivers, Gaines in the backfield. 2nd down and 1, Dazzo. 3-step drop out to Gaines. Caught it, first down. 120 and counting.
Well, so far, 3 straight completions. Feeling red hot right now.
25 of 40 now is Dazzo. 1:08 to go. Dazzo 3-step drop again. Dazzo fires middle of the field. Incomplete. Tried to force a slant, deep slant to Carroll. Dags in coverage.
Dags and the referee both in coverage there as the ref goes tumbling down. Just a lot of congestion in the middle of that field. Dazzo trying to fit it through a tight window. Not something that he's done with regularity tonight.
Kanye Rockefeller in the chat saying this is where progression is earned. And hey, could make the difference. Could be make or break when you're talking about a game of this magnitude. Dazzo out of the gun on 2nd down and 10. Fires short. Oh, could have been a pick 6. Dazzo wanting a pass interference call. And really just needs to get his eyes checked. Jack Brown with a deflection.
Dad, nice play by Brown there. I also saw, excuse me, I'm looking at the wrong sheet. But yeah, Jack Brown there. Green sleeves, able to get his paw in front of the ball there. Oh, man. Chest, opportunity to seal the game, but makes it a nice 3rd and 10 here for Baltimore. Certainly in 2-down territory to get this first down.
There was absolutely no interference on that play, so Dazzo's pulling at straws there. 3rd down and 10. Estadio Aztecas on their feet. Ball at the Aztec 42-yard line. Vultures down by 8. Dazzo to pass. Dazzo scrambles away. Caught! First down to the 23-yard line by Malone.
And Malone giving his quarterback a nice wide open window. Dazzo moving in the pocket, a little uncomfortable, makes the pass.
50 seconds, Dazzo outside, caught down to the 18-yard line. Still have all 3 timeouts. That was the tight end, Morgan. 40 seconds, Dazzo, 36 seconds. Dazzo back to pass, fires, incomplete, knocked him in the air and almost caught on a deflection. We have seen the craziest bouncing balls. It almost bounced 10 yards back to a receiver.
And to a defender. Opportunity for at least 2 defenders to get their hands on that ball. But Mexico City's defense here looking a little shaken. This is the best Vultures drive of the night.
3rd down and 5 of the 18-yard line. Can Dazzo do it again? Still all 3 timeouts. 5 wide. Dazzo to throw. Dazzo hit as he threw. End zone intercepted. The pressure was too much. Looking for Malone, and Wallace Island has sealed the game for Mexico City.
Half a step, Cam. Half a step. If Garen Malone gets just a half a step more, he makes a tremendous grab in the end zone for a touchdown. But that half a step was enough for King Wallace to grab that ball. Interception, ball game. Congratulations, Mexico City.
And I may have spoken prematurely because Baltimore does still have all 3 timeouts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and Matt Willson is going in victory formation. Now,
they're gonna have an opportunity.
Now, why, Steven, would you do this?
You wouldn't. You shouldn't.
Oh.
You should run. You should.
That's playing scared.
You should run as much time off the clock as possible. Run the ball. You're still going to give the Vultures a little bit of time, but you never know. You may get a first down and go ahead and seal this ball game. Instead, here, remember this, Cam. Daley Holder has had 2 quality returns in this game, and he looks very close to breaking one. He could break one here and tie this ball game.
And all this is doing is backing up your punter. He's going to be punting out of the back of his own end zone.
Yeah. And they're going to have a good, even if Holder's not unable to break a return, they're going to have a good 15 to 10 seconds to try to get the ball down the field.
Now, on the flip side of things, if I'm Mexico City, I'm saying, look, you can't score. I mean, our safest play is to put our defense back out onto the field because you just can't score. But, man, that is playing with fire. And the punter, Alex Lopez, is going to be punting from his own end zone with 23 seconds left. Baltimore is out of timeouts.
Well, the one good thing is it's great for the fans. Anybody who's watching, one last opportunity for Baltimore to do something that would get them in the record books.
101 of them. We've been in triple digits most of the night. SFL Nation, a little late, but showed out big time with big numbers here tonight on Friday Night Lights. Down to 18 seconds to go, and Holder's going to have a chance to return. Holder gets to the 49-yard line. Good coverage. And with 15 seconds left, Steven, I'm making sure that now hear me out. I don't want to Hail Mary this. I'm throwing something. I'm throwing a deep post maybe to Malone and then running up to the line and giving myself a chance from about 20 yards out with one last play.
Yeah, and I'm not even looking that deep. Mainly, get out of bounds if you catch this ball.
They're going Hail Mary already?
They're going Hail Mary. They're going to give themselves 2 or 3 chances unless it gets picked off.
Well, Dazzo, unless he takes a sack. Dazzo can't take a sack. Dazzo's going to the end zone. And Dazzo down the field. It's going to be picked off. Golly, Baltimore just threw the game away. Oh, a night of missed opportunities. That's a shame.
Well, the end of this game is not going to be known for its coaching decisions on both sides of the ball. Clearly, I think most of us are going to agree some mistakes were made, but this will surely end it here. As Mexico City's going to go 2-1. And really, I think, as you mentioned, this is a Mexico City team that not only got hot last season, but it looks like it's starting this season hot, coming off a bye, getting a win against a tough Baltimore team who just came off a victory over Queen City. The Aztecs looking good here early in the season, and for the Vultures, a little bit more identity discovery.
Well, I think the takeaway from tonight, some people in the chat saying that looked out of bounds, and maybe that should have been reviewed, but nobody reviewed it. Booth chose not to, but if you want to take away anything, is you look at the very even numbers all throughout the night. Baltimore, just those 2 turnovers in the last minute of play, was that Matt Willson completed one of the greatest passes in league history.
Yeah, that play is going to be talked about and looked at. I'm sure that we're going to be looking at that play at the end of the season too, just for the tremendous athletic skill that it took to make that play by Willson. Just one of the reasons why he's a Hall of Famer. But for me, in Baltimore, they are so close to something here. If their wide receivers make a couple more catches, this is a whole different ball game. So they were able to go toe-to-toe with one of the best teams historically in the league for the past few seasons. And coming off that Queen City win, they know that they're close. Oh, wow, look at this. The flick of the wrist. The defender is in great position, covering a tight end. Perfect pass.
Amazing. Just amazing. Well, Baltimore falls to 1-3, 0-3 on the road. Next week, the Vultures are at the St. Louis Gladiators back on the Sunday slate. Mexico City is now 2-1, and they have a date at Sioux Falls. That's going to be a big one in week 4.
Yeah, I mean, the Sioux Falls team, I wouldn't want to face this week, Sioux Falls, after what happened to them on Monday night. They're going to be looking for some revenge.
So the final, Baltimore 7 and Mexico City 15. Say goodbye to the Cam. Cole Varner's your player of the game. Why not? He scored all the points. That's awesome. Kicker gets on.
We rarely talk about a kicker being the best offensive player of the team, but that's been the case so far this season. At least the most consistent player for Mexico City.
Once again, the final, Baltimore 7, Mexico City 15. For Scott LaRue, the head of stats and our stat man tonight, along with Stephen Mullinex in the booth and all of our crew here in Mexico, I'm Cameron Irvine saying we'll see you tomorrow night on YouTube.
Dilly dilly.